From Las Vegas, Nevada and Indianapolis, Indiana, welcome to Out of the Box with John and Tony. Now here's the host of the show, Tony Scott. Hey guys, welcome back. It's another Monday. I'm just trying to get situated here. As you can notice, I got my laptop here because we got doing some stuff on the laptop here. As usual, I'm Tony Scott, your host for Out of the Box. Welcome back, guys. How's your week been going? Is it going good? Going bad? Mine's going great. Everything's doing good. Vegas is still Vegas. We got an interesting program today. We're talking about HAARP. HAARP is the high frequency active auroral research program. What a kick that is, and mind control. What is it possible to leave your mind in somebody else's hands, and for them to control you to do? Not really sure what they're going to control you to do, but that's kind of interesting. And John and I are going to talk about that. And speaking of John, he's joining me live via Skype from Indianapolis, Indiana. John, how you doing out there?
I'm under mind control right now.
Yeah, mind control.
You're telling me to do the peace sign and move back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's HAARP. Hey, guys, I'm doing good. This is John Allen from Indianapolis, Indiana, the co-host of Out of the Box with John and Tony. And we have an interesting show today, like Tony just told you, about HAARP. And, you know, I always like to do the weather forecast. So let's see that graphic. That new graphic, right? Weather forecast. Oh, yeah, beautiful. Look at that, guys. Look at that. I tell you what, we're getting high-tech. Tony is just kicking ass on this stuff. Don't mean to cuss, but, you know, sometimes you just got to. Anyway, as earlier I said, we were going to catch up with Vegas. We're pretty much there. We're at 95 degrees at time, 7 o'clock Indy time. So anyway, yeah, it's getting hot. It's hot here. Last 3 days we've been under a heat advisory. It's very hot. It's steamy. I think it's cooler in Florida. But hey, we got a great show today about HAARP. It's interesting. Tony and I are going to talk about that for 58 minutes. Back out to you. In Las Vegas, Nevada, my friend.
Hey, what is this HAARP all about? HAARP. I thought they were talking about a HAARP. I was like, oh, let's hear it. Let's do some jamming. Yeah. I want to hear that HAARP jam. Get the distortion pedal on the HAARP. You know, give me some echo. HAARP, mind control. You know, I got to thinking about that. I got to looking into HAARP the other day, and that facility that's up in Gacona, Alaska. I don't know. Anytime you hear because the HAARP was for very low frequency distribution, high frequency distribution. God knows why the conspiracy theorists get on the kick saying it's all about mind control, and they're going to control your mind, and HAARP is now being used to control the weather, and it brought down the TWA Flight 800. And I'm thinking, that thing, I don't get it. How do you do that? I mean, how are you bringing airplanes out of the sky? Anything that's electronically controlled, as far as on circuit boards and everything's on a frequency based. Just frequency based. If you interrupt that frequency, I suppose maybe that could have happened. I'm kind of doubting it. As far as the mind control part, I don't see you admitting any type of frequency and having it come down into your house or into your car or on to you in a street, in a drugstore, in Walmart, Target, whatever you're going to be, and controlling you to do something. I don't see that happening. I don't see.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of with you on that, Tony. I don't really see that happening anyway, but a lot of people actually believe that. And It's weird. I think the government can control your mind, but I don't think it's through HAARP. I think
Right.
it's through LSD.
Yeah.
It's
That
kind
and
of a joke, a little bit.
that and
That's
other
another
things, you know. I
show.
mean, I mean, you talk about if the government wants to control your mind and say like for instance, you know, back out in Rendlesham Forest, you know, that the UFO incident that happened, they contacted the guys. They had some interviews with some people that were at that facility at that time that witnessed that particular event, and you get them in a room, right? And you put some amphetamines in them, and then turn around and ask them some questions, and then turn around and inject them with some barbiturates, and then their mind gets all freaky, you know, and they don't know what's going on. So, I mean, you're using drugs to do that to get the person to say, okay, this never happened or whatever. You're never going to say anything again. Blah blah blah. We're do this or we're going to do that, and you know the desert's real big and you could disappear and all that stuff. But that's got nothing to do with the HAARP facility. That's what I'm saying. So, like if the government's going to control something and use like a frequency based instrument. Say the country went into martial law, and then there's tens of thousands of people who are just like PO'd. You know, they're just mad, and they're just going to storm your front lawn or the front door of the White House. And what else? What are you going to do to protect that? Well,
Right.
10,000 against 10,000, I guess, or maybe you can use a weapon. Say on the back of a Jeep or something, and it's a dish with some kind of high frequency device that just stops you dead in your tracks. I get that. That kind of makes sense. But the facility that was built by BAE, the advanced technologies up in Gakona, Alaska, wasn't used for that. It only
Right.
it was the conspiracy, like I said, the conspiracy theorists get into this kick, right? And they say this is being used for that. It's being used to control the mind. Well, it's not being used to control the mind. It's only being used to control what you think it's being used to control. So
Makes sense.
yeah. So in a nutshell, I had to get this laptop out of mine. That's why it's this big white squares in the way. Weaponizing, it's kind of funny. People who claim, like I said, HAARP is a big target for conspiracy theorists who claim it's capable of weaponizing weather. You're not controlling the weather. You're not turning your weather station wherever you are. Say you're in Indianapolis, right? Hey, let's get this, turn your hi-fi system and crank it to Q95 and we're just going to make it rain. People, it doesn't happen. We need a thunderstorm in South Dakota. Oh, well, whatever call signs in South Dakota, or flip it on AM 1060 in South Dakota, and it all of a sudden it rains at that. Okay, and then a different frequency, you got thunderstorms. It starts to thunder and lightning, and okay, well, we don't really need that much rain, so go to AM 960, and we're going to get a little sprinkle. People, there is no concrete evidence of anything of that nature as far as frequencies go emitted into the atmosphere to control the weather. So I hate to shut the door on the conspiracy theorists as far as this goes, HAARP goes, but I'm slamming the door on them. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, Tony said it's it's closed case on the conspiracy with the HAARP.
Right.
Well, the thing about the weather though, with the HAARP, they say the people that believe that it can control weather, rather, they say that they are putting up ions or whatever,
right,
of the energy particles rather, up into the atmosphere and causing it to heat up, causing the atmosphere to heat up and disturb the atmosphere, and then it causes rain. I don't know if that's so much true. I don't think that's why they really, why they created the HAARP. I know years and years ago, in order to get it to rain, they would shoot salt and explode salt up into the sky, the atmosphere, to try to trigger rain. That's something totally different. But really, as far as my understanding of HAARP, I don't know. I'm not expert at it. I only pretend to be one on TV. That's just a joke, guys. Anyway, I'm not an expert on HAARP, but what I do know about HAARP is built by the military, and it's more for a defense. Now, I believe that defense against intercontinental missiles coming over from Russia or wherever, shooting the ion particles up and shutting down the computer systems, guidance systems on the missiles, and shutting the missile down before it hits the earth. Now, that's more believable. Don't you think, Tony?
Oh, of course. So,
yeah, I think so.
You know, one thing I did read, and this kind of makes sense. I don't know if it's good, but it would make sense. But you could have scientists were able to use HAARP to get an increased accuracy of GPS navigation. So beam a signal up, beam back down. Well, you're not exactly where the beam is. You're kind of plus or minus 20 feet. Maybe to get more, how do you get more accurate? Use HAARP, and then we're going to get you plus or minus a couple inches. Well, that's kind of more accurate, and that would do that. That actually would help in, say, GPS navigation for cars on autopilot, because you would have to have a GPS signal that's completely and really, really highly accurate on the road, because you don't want the car to be off the road by 20 feet and you're driving along, and you just, next thing you know, you're just driving along your nice countryside, and off the ravine you go. Oh, well, thanks to the GPS. Thanks a lot, guys. You just crashed my car.
GPS is off a little bit, man. I don't know with the Grand Canyon.
You know, and they used it for improved submarine communication. I get, you know, whatever. I mean, the government has, okay, you guys are going out and a 6 months tour in a submarine, blah, blah, blah. And can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? And you can't, but they use HAARP, and it increases the ability for enhanced communication. Oh yeah, we hear you. We hear you great. Thanks to HAARP. You know, I guess that could be a good thing.
Well, you know, that makes what you just said there. That makes total sense. That makes total sense. And the location of HAARP itself, like getting back to the missile defense system, makes sense. Just because of the locations up there in Alaska, it's close to Russia.
Right.
You know, when they start sending their missiles over, God forbid they ever do that, but you know, we can send up those radio waves and knock them down. So, you know, like you said, it's a high frequency radio transmitter. That's what it is, man. Basically, what it is, it's like on steroids, you know.
Right, right.
But you know, the whole thing about it controlling, you know, triggering floods and droughts and hurricanes and thunderstorms, like over in Haiti and Philippines and all that. I'm with you. I just have a hard time grasping it. I mean, I know we got great technology, Tony, but I just don't think that's the case.
I like to back up just a minute, because you said something about heating up the atmosphere to make it rain, and that's what you would have to do. You could just do your basic science class at home, you know, and big bucket and nice cold upper layer, and start boiling the water, heating up the lower layer, and then when everything's said and done, it starts to rain. I get that part, but I just don't think you could heat it up. You couldn't heat it up to make it rain, but is that what they're doing? That nobody knows. There's no concrete evidence to say, okay, we're going to be doing this huge experiment. We're just going to set a huge amount of land on fire, okay, and then we're just going to see if it rains. Okay, so everybody,
they did do that back in the day. Yeah.
I don't know about it, but
yeah, it was a long time ago. I think they used to do that out in the West. They used to burn to try to create rain. Well, Indians, I think, did that.
All I gotta
say
is, if they did it, especially me, because I don't believe in any of that crap. You're going to have to set something on fire. You're going to have a film crew out there filming it, and I want to see the results of it raining. Then I'll believe that part. Then I can. Then I will be able to believe the shooting up whatever you're shooting up out of the HAARP facility to heat up that upper atmosphere to make it rain. Okay, where are you going to make it rain? Okay, we're just going to make it rain in Alaska, because that's where this facility's at. So you shoot that stuff up. You're just going to make it rain there. It's not like you're going to shoot it over to freaking Florida and make it rain.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't.
Right. That's true. That's why I'm with you on. I don't think HAARP controls weather. I really don't.
No.
And if you guys believe it, comment below. Let us know we're wrong, and tell us, And you always say that, Tony, is true, and you kind of opened my eyes since we've been doing this podcast together. I don't discount all conspiracies, but you've opened my eyes to one thing: is the secret words, 2 words, concrete proof.
Well, you have to have evidence.
You always say concrete proof, and that's true. You really have to have concrete. You should have concrete proof anyway. Especially when you're talking science, because HAARP is science. It's not spiritual. It's hard science.
Right.
It's man-made science. So with man-made science, yeah, you should have concrete evidence. And there's really no evidence of that. Kind of get back to the Indians and burning their fields on fire and stuff like that to create rain. The only thing, of course, obviously I didn't live back then, so I couldn't see it. I didn't witness it. The only thing I read, like in history and books and whatever, and accounts, is as far as it's successful, if it wasn't successful. And it's almost 50-50. 50% of the legend you hear, it was successful when they did that, 50% not. So there you go. It's just something I threw out there for you guys to think about.
Well, even if you're going to heat, let me tell you, heat dissipates, and it dissipates very, very quick. It's going to dissipate, especially outside. So the upper layer, say, of the atmosphere, if you're going to heat something from ASL or above, just right there at ground level, right? And you're going to heat something up. Yep. The layer above you can't be more than, how high can that be? Say 1,000. Can you go 5,000 before the heat from the ground cools? At what altitude is that thing cool? So it's 100 degrees here, right? And you send 100 degrees up in the air. At what point in time is that 100 degrees going to cool?
So that'd be interesting. That would be something to find out.
Well,
that's good.
You're going to need something really, really hot. Besides Bo Derek, maybe she's kind of hot, I guess. You're going to need something really, really hot to get up in the ionosphere to make it right. The Indians, right? Well, good luck to you guys. Your powwows may call God. You just get God on the phone and say, "Hey, we need some rain." He'll make it rain.
Well, and the correct Indians, they did do that too. They pray to their God.
Well, that's good.
God. Yeah, they would do that too. So to the Indians' credit, but it's kind of funny. You were talking about the hot air. If you take a hot air balloon, you're right about the heat dissipating pretty quick.
Right.
Because when you fly a hot air balloon, it works on hot air, right? And you got the flame. You hit the flame. And every time you hit the flame, warms up the air, rises the balloon, right?
Right.
Well, you have to hit that flame quite a bit to climb, because if you don't do it for a while, guess what happens in the balloon? You start sinking. Yeah. So what I'm getting at is like the timing part, the timing and the duration of the heat. So you're right, and that's just heating up. That's just heating up from the space of the basket, right above the basket of the balloon, right to the balloon. So your distance is only like maybe 10 feet. And you're talking, like you said, something from the ground level going up into the, atmosphere. Yeah, you're right. That's a lot of power to heat up the atmosphere. You're right. There's a lot of power. And it's like, yeah, you're exactly right.
It's a lot. It's a lot of generated heat.
Yes.
But anyway, for all you guys out there that don't know HAARP, like I said, it's the High Frequency Active Oral Research Program. It began in the 1990, decades ago. Ted Stevens was a Republican senator from Alaska, helped win the approval for the facility, and then of course the construction began in 1993, and then it continued on from there, and then they announced the shutdown of HAARP in 2013. It was going to be shut down in 2014. Then they postponed that to somewhere around August of 2015, and they actually turned it back over. The equipment facility was turned over to the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and they made it on the facility available for pay-per-use basis. So, I mean, if you can't control it, if that place you can control someone's mind and you don't like your ex-wife, hey man, get some money together, get up to Garcona, Alaska, and
rent HAARP.
Click it in there
rent the HAARP.
Have your ex-wife. I mean, I don't bid any harm to anybody. So whatever, make your ex-wife cluck like a chicken for 20 years, and she's right. You just kind of housed her because she's not going outside clucking like a chicken. So, but it's all whatever. I mean, it's conspiracy stuff, and the topic HAARP is, like I said, when I looked into it the other night, and I'm thinking, well, let's go ahead and do the show on it, and maybe some people will like it. Maybe some people go, yeah, that's just another conspiracy thing, and because it just is, and we don't believe it. I surely don't believe it, and I hope that you guys out there are going, yeah, well, Tony's got a point. Yeah. Okay, good. So then we kind of just, we digress, we move on and take of course, this show's going to take a nice big turn for you guys, and we're going to get into some really, really good subjects.
We got some good ones coming up.
Oh yeah. We're going to do I don't know how many part series we're going to end up doing on the creation evolution, but we're moving that way, and we want you guys definitely to hit the show on that, because I'm going overboard. I'm going overboard with it. So, but like I said, HAARP, no, I'm nah, not mind control, whatever. High frequency stuff, yeah. If you could emit a frequency so high, well, we don't live in the ionosphere. So you're shooting the frequencies up. Well, we don't live up there, so you have to shoot the frequency straight across. Or maybe you're beaming it up. It has to come back down. Once you beam a signal up, well, it's not coming back down unless it's interrupted by something. So what do you got? Whatever. You got to have something up there to bounce it off of. Whatever.
You can bounce it off the atmosphere, but here's my thing, Tony, with the HAARP. Okay, the government built it, the Navy and Air Force, military, the people that you mentioned.
Right.
Okay, the question is, number one question is, what for? Okay, we gotta ask ourselves, why do they build HAARP? What's the purpose of HAARP? Well, if you believe conspiracy theorists, and you believe Jesse Ventura, nothing against him personally.
Right.
It's mind control. Well, we've talked about the mind control. We pretty much said we don't think that's it. That's the case, right?
Right.
Okay, so why would they build it? Okay, is the Navy really going to, and Air Force and the government really going to sink that much money into a machine like that, or a facility rather like that, to control the minds of people? I don't think so. So, I mean, if you look at it logically, what makes sense is, all right, it's defense. It's communication. It's defense. And that's what I think it is. Is it weaponing? Some people think, conspiracy theorists think it's weaponing, They use it as a weapon, to blast a hole into the atmosphere and let the sun's radiation burn out whatever the section or the diameter of the hole. They blast it through the atmosphere. Okay, that sounds kind of impressive a little bit, but my theory number one is they're not doing that because, like you said, okay, if they're going to blast a hole up, more likely they're going to blast a hole up straight above Alaska. So what are you going to do, radiate Alaska? Okay, right? Okay, so that doesn't make sense. They would have to get the beam, like you said, traveling around the world and then burn a hole. That just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that can happen. Now, comment below for you guys who believe in HAARP and explain it to us. We're not trying to be mean, and we're not trying to make anybody sound stupid or anything. Just comment below. Let us know what your thoughts are on it. Okay, government control thing again. Jesse Ventura. Of course, he was an actor and a wrestler, and then he was the governor of Minnesota. Now I'm going to turn it over to you, Tony, and you tell me what you think.
Well,
probably say a few words. Why do you think Jesse Ventura would think that it's mind control?
Well, that's the whole thing. That's my whole kick. Any conspiracy theory is based on theory. So they say, okay, it's mind control. Well, how the hell do you know it's mind control? I don't get that anyway. But HAARP, you mentioned about money. The Air Force and the Navy chucked out over $220 million of tax-funded monies to support that facility. As far as one of the things I just wanted to read here real quick for everybody, research conducted at HAARP facility has allowed the U.S. military to perfect communications with its fleet of submarines by sending radio signals over long distances. I got it.
Makes sense to me.
You're not going to blow a hole. Why in the hell would you want to blow a hole in God's atmosphere is beyond my comprehension. I think everybody in the world needs to get along with each other. Flat out,
that's
period.
True.
You don't, if you want to go back 2,500, 3,000 years ago and battle it out. You guys want to battle it out? Come on over. You guys come over here. Here's a big field. Here's your sword. Here's your shields, your swords. Hit it. Battle it out. That's going to be the true battle. That's going to be the true battle right there.
Well, I agree with you on that, man. The way they do battles these days, it's pushing a button, pushing a button and wiping out.
Well, you mentioned Jesse.
As we know it.
You mentioned Jesse Ventura. I don't know nothing about Jesse Ventura, dude. You're probably a great guy. I heard the name, but I think I might have watched something. But if something's mundane to me, I pass it along. I move on. Whatever.
Right.
If you think it's mind control, prove it. Prove it's mind control. Take somebody up there and turn this. Get somebody with some money. Go up or say, we need to rent this HAARP place, okay? And then get in there, flip on this light switch, turn on the equipment, and start controlling minds and film it. Film it, you controlling people's minds. And then post it. And then we're watching all these people clucking all like chickens and barking like dogs and climbing trees and jumping off the top of pine trees and what have you, or banging your head. What was that metal song? Not "Bang Your Head" by Quiet Riot.
Yeah,
there was
by Quiet Riot.
No, that's not the one. It was
Mental Health.
It was by no, it's not that one. It was another bang. These kids, high school kids, are banging their head against the lockers. Well,
it's a Twisted Sister song.
Set that up. Set that stuff up. It was actually a song by Accept. But
balls to the wall.
So make them line up a crap load of lockers, man, right? And then get all these people up there and make them bang their heads against the thing with HAARP.
That's
HAARP it, baby. As a matter of fact,
hey, you know what? That could be a good name for a heavy metal band. HAARP.
HAARP it, baby. Baby's the. I can't believe I banged my head against the wall so many times. I'm blaming HAARP. Anyway, HAARP is out. HAARP is out. I hate to tell you that, guys.
Well, the thing is about HAARP, I think it narrows it down to what you were saying. I think it's I really do think it's just a government facility to help with communication. And it could be used as defense as far as missiles, Oh,
I was going to say something about that.
But that's another thing too, though, Tony. Like the missile defense, it would only if HAARP was, it couldn't be the only one. It could be the only facility for missile defense. It had to be one of many. So I would think there'd be a lot of HAARP type facilities around to knock down missiles. I mean, unless they just got that one so perfected and know.
Right.
I don't know. Like I said, guys, comment below. Let us know. So we're just two old rockers, getting together, having some fun.
Right. I'll just read this, and this is from Wikipedia. I'm just going to go on the conspiracy theories that they list. HAARP is a subject of numerous conspiracy theories. Various individuals have speculated about hidden motivations and capabilities of the project. For example, this Rosalie Bertel warned in 1996 about the deployment of HAARP as a military weapon. Well, okay, Bertel, where's your proof about that? This guy, I can't even pronounce his last name. I'll just skip over him. I don't even see Jesse Ventura in there, but they say...
he's in there. He's towards the...
Let me run over this here real quick. The Committee on Monetary Economic Reform, the recent scientific evidence suggests. Okay, so hang on. I'm going to just analyze this real quick for you. You can't write recent scientific evidence. That's recent, so that you have scientific evidence, and now you deem appropriate, right, to put the word suggests. Oh, that is contrary to what you're writing. Anyway, all right. Suggests that HAARP is fully operational as the capability of triggering floods, hurricanes, droughts, and earthquakes. Over time, HAARP has been blamed for generating such catastrophes. Can't even see that word. Yeah. Hell breaks loose with this thing, as well as thunderstorms in Iran. Go figure. You got Alaska. Yeah. Alaska's here. Iran. Where the hell is Iran from Alaska?
Way far. That's what I mentioned. How's it gonna travel?
How do you get in that signal over there?
Right.
You can't. Okay, you're bouncing it off the atmosphere. Okay, well, if you aim it and you bounce it off the atmosphere, right? By the time you aim that sucker out there and it hits the atmosphere out there and it bounces back, how do you know it's going to bounce to Iran? You don't.
That's a good question. That's what I mean.
This is the
control thing. You can't control.
You don't.
How are you going to control that?
And then Pakistan, Haiti, Turkey, and Greece, along with the thunderstorms, and the Philippines, and even major power outages. Oh, okay. I got the power outages. Maybe so.
Yeah, that's possible.
Turn it on, so. And everything just goes out. Okay, I got it. That could be the downing of flight TWA flight 800. So, like you were saying, and you and I were both saying that the schematic boards are usually have electricity sent through these boards on different on frequencies, because you have to have a frequency somewhere, right? And you disrupt that, and it dismantles itself and turns off. Well, your engine just shut off. Okay, all right, maybe so. I don't know. So Gulf War syndrome. Don't get me on the Gulf War. I'll pass on that. Chronic fatigue syndrome. Man. All you got to do is take vitamins, dudes. You got to eat your fruits and vegetables, your nuts, get on a healthy diet. You ain't going to be tired. I don't care what machine you turn on. You're not going to be tired. Sorry. Jesse Ventura. I ain't come across your name, brother. Anyway,
he is on the Wikipedia.
Yeah, he's probably on here somewhere, John.
He's like towards the beginning. Yeah, but he's on there. But but the thing is with him, I mean, what's he doing now? I don't know.
Who knows?
It's irrelevant, I know, but
I'm sure he's a great guy.
I agree with you, Tony. I agree with you, Tony, on that. I mean, it's like you can't. Okay, they're going to use it. They're going to use it for defense and weather manipulation. You got to bounce that signal over there, and you got to know exactly where you're going to crank that hole out.
Hey, mention that one thing. This is funny. Just go to the Wikipedia, John. I won't mention that. Go ahead and mention the guys from the two Georgia men. Read that.
Oh, the Georgia guys. Okay, yeah.
You got that?
Yeah, there was two. It says here that there was two Georgia men arrested on drug charges in November of 16. Were reported plotting a domestic terrorism based on the conspiracy theories about HAARP. So in other words, they wanted to destroy HAARP.
Right.
So the Coffee County Sheriff's Office said the two men possessed a big arsenal of AR-15s, Glocks, Remington rifles. You get the idea. Thousands of ammunition rounds.
Right.
Okay. According to police, the men wanted to destroy HAARP and the facilities because they believe the facility manipulated the weather, controls the minds, and even traps the souls of people. So that's getting deep right there. Now, come on. Now, Tony and I are both God believers, right? Okay, but this we want to get the story straight right now. Tony and I are both God believers, but we would never do this. These guys want to kill these people and tear the facility up because they would believe God told them to go out there and do it.
Right.
And God also told him to blow the machine up because the machine kept the souls, so the souls could be released.
Anyway.
I don't know. My point is with that whole thing right there is them Georgia guys are doing some serious.
I just wonder if I could go into Wikipedia and edit this, and just at the bottom after the part where it says so the souls could be released, and then have like an edit. This is from Tony Scott from Out of the Box. You two men are idiots. Done. You're an idiot. Well, God never told you that. He's not going to tell you. God wants something destroyed. He's going to come down there and bing, gone. It's just going to be gone. Period. Right. He's not telling you to destroy anything.
That's the people who lived in Sodom and Gomorrah. But anyway, listen.
In the Old Testament, God gave a command to Joshua to go down there and kill them all. Kill them. Yeah, God said this. Oh, and of course Joshua failed. He let the kings live and some sheep and cattle live. And God goes, man, I can't believe I made you king. I should have never made you king. You didn't even listen to me. I told you to kill them all. And this was God, guys. Read your Bible, guys.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the funny thing about that whole thing, though, Tony. Like you said earlier, we were talking pre-show. The 2 men were arrested on what? Drug charges. So there's your
right.
There's your key words right there. Drug charges, guys. These guys were dealing drugs, and more likely people that deal drugs use drugs.
Right.
So I'm thinking this wasn't God told them to do that. I'm thinking the drugs might have had something.
Well, yeah, because maybe they had their arms stuck out, and they had a couple needles stuck to their arms on things. Somebody's telling me to destroy HAARP.
When you get stoned to good
right,
man, you can hallucinate and do all kinds of stuff, right?
Here, check this one out. Check this one out real quick. Stanford University professor Human Ian, I can't even. Hi, Human. How you doing? Told Popular Science, that magazine. I don't even know if that magazine's still out. Good magazine, really good. That the weather control conspiracy theorists were completely uninformed. There you go. Uninformed.
Yeah.
Right? And explaining, he goes on. I'll go on. Explaining that there's absolutely nothing we can do to disturb the Earth's systems. Well, amen to that. You ain't going to do anything to disturb it. Here, better yet, I got a better idea. I got a better idea for anybody that believes in that stuff. All right, go to Kansas, okay, where Dorothy and Toto is, okay? And your next tornado that starts rolling through, I want you to stop it. No, I'll drive you there and drop you off. Of course, I'm not gonna stick around for something that's as big as gargantuan cloud of crap flying around, and I'm not gonna stop it, but go ahead. I want you guys to stop it. Oh, by the way, film it and get it on the news, and so we can see. Oh yeah, they actually use that HAARP technology to stop a tornado to go through wherever in Kansas or wherever. You know that tornado alley.
Right.
Oh well, here guys, I'll tell you what. Don't do it because it's not happening. So we'll end that right there because I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. You say, yeah, Tony Scott said to go do this, and now they're all dead. Well, no.
Yeah,
I'm just proving a point to you guys. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work that way. Man, we got like 20 minutes, and I'm thinking we can roll off a HAARP and mind control, and I don't know. We can go into something else.
Yeah, the only thing I got left on HAARP is that I think the bottom line is we're going to wrap up the HAARP subject. Really, I think what it was made basically for military, and I think for communication, help with communication, and I think it could be somewhat for defense purposes as far as protecting Alaska and the area around Alaska. And we do know that missiles would come over through that way, so it'd probably help in that. But that's my conclusion on that. I think that's what it's built for. As far as controlling the weather, and blowing holes into the atmosphere and all that, I don't really believe so much of that. Now, is the government doing stuff to try to manipulate the weather in other ways? Probably. That'd be another show. But I think, I think the government is up to tricky stuff and sketchy stuff. Yeah, I honestly believe that. So. Like they've been trying to cover up the UFO thing for years, and now, I just saw today, Tony. I got on the Fox News website today.
Yeah. And
they actually, that secure team guy, Tyler, he actually got one of his videos on Fox News, and they were showing where the UFO was involved in a lightning strike, and in the middle of a lightning strike.
Oh, right.
Somebody from Australia, somebody filmed it.
Right.
But my point is this. The government's always been trying to cover that up, and they can't really cover it up anymore because people got these cell phones with cameras and whatnot,
Right.
and they're taking pictures of all this stuff. So, do I trust the government 100%? No. Do they cover stuff up? Yes. Are they manipulating weather and mind control, especially mind control with HAARP? No. I would almost believe they would manipulate the weather with HAARP more than mind control. I honestly don't think it's mind control real quickly. I just think if the government was going to do mind control, I think they would put it in our food, in our drugs, or whatever.
Right.
That might be a way that they could kind of, and it wouldn't be like total mind control, but to manipulate thought process in the media and television. That's where you're going to try to not really mind control in the sense of like total mind control, like, okay, I put on a switch and make you walk backwards. Not that kind of mind control, but in the mind control as in brainwashing people to think a certain way. I think that's more along the lines of using media and using maybe chemicals to slowly make the public believe certain things. Like you always say, the fake news, don't believe it. Don't believe a lot of that stuff, and Trump's always saying that. And it's not like I'm, plugging anybody, but I'm not plugging the president's quotes. But the thing is there is some truth to that, though. I think the media, and you've said it many times on our shows, they can get you to believe certain things that aren't really happening. And I think that's really the part of the mind control, so to speak, is what's happening. But that's really all I got on HAARP, Tony. I'll let you take it from there. And you want to jump on another subject for the next 20 minutes or so?
Like I said, for me, if you're going to control the weather, control the mind. Not sure why you would want to control the mind. Just so you want to manipulate somebody. Human beings we're all about controlling. I need to be in control. I need to do it's always you need to be in control, or a conglomerate amount of people need to be in control. So we want to control all these people. For what reason? You'd have to have a reason to control them anyway. Number one, you're not doing it. You're just not doing it with this HAARP facility. In the weather controlling parts, I look at this planet that, well, basically we all live on it. So if you screw one end up, and it starts to do the domino effect, and start screwing everything else, you're going to screw it up for everybody. Number one, if you have a shortage of water somewhere, maybe, have you ever thought about that area just doesn't get that much water because it just doesn't need it? Or this area has a lot of water and it's flooded there. That's because somebody's doing that. It's probably God doing it. And if you need water, well, you got a boatload of oceans out there with a boatload of water. You tell me you should take your technology, your $250 million or $220 million that you just blatantly wasted. Well, I won't say wasted, but a lot of it's wasted on that. Derive it technology to help the world, to help everybody that lives on this planet, not just to help you in a few sorted amount of people, because that does absolutely no good. Absolutely no good. You want to help the entire planet, and then everybody reaps a reward. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys out there, but it makes a lot of sense to me. So try that. For all you people that are watching that, or even have even top people, even people with high recognition that watch this show, don't quit wasting your money. Get stuff done for the entire planet. Go change to the alternative fuel. Have you ever wondered why the hell the fuel prices are so damn high? I rue the day that an alternative fuel source comes out to where gasoline now is 10 cents a gallon. Goodbye to all your oil companies. We don't even need you people. We need you now. Unfortunately, we need you now, and I'm saying this live. We need you now, but we can't control these gas prices. How can we get them down to a reasonable amount? It doesn't cost you any more money 50 to 60, 70, 80 years ago than it does now to refine. It doesn't cost you. It's the same thing. It's just the same thing. And then you see this up and down, up and down. People, whoever's in control of that, get him out, because he's the one that's $3.95 a gallon, $6.25 a gallon. Who the hell is he?
Well, you know what? It's called the stock market driving those prices. Because years ago, Tony, you make a good point. Years ago, they would say, you remember back in the 70s, that was a long time ago. They would say that we had a fuel shortage. The Earth was having a fuel shortage, right? So the prices went up in the 70s. Well, this is 2018, folks, and guess what? We still got plenty of fuel.
Exactly.
Plenty of fossil fuel. We're not running out. And you are right when you say we should, hey, I love my old car and I love, throwing gas in and burn it that way. But you are absolutely right when it comes to when you look at it realistically, like you just said, we got to stop polluting the planet.
Of course.
We got to start going with the alternative fuels, like you just said. We got to go with the solar. We got to go like that. I'm not a total green guy. I do recycle and things like that. But you're absolutely right. If HAARP was built and spent $250 million on just blowing up the atmosphere, yeah, that's crazy crap. Believe it or not.
That's
if
absurd.
That's what they're using it for. If they're using it for defense from Russia or whoever, I can understand that too. But you know what? You're right. In an ideal world, and we're kind of leading towards where our future episodes are going to go. In an ideal world, we wouldn't have to worry about somebody trying to bomb us, because we've dismantled every damn bomb on the planet.
Well, you wouldn't need
especially every damn bomb that could take the planet out 2-3 times. People, why do we need all this nuclear bombs? You're right. We're going. You're absolutely right, Tony. You hit on a subject that we'll be discussing in our future shows. But yeah, you're right, man. And I'll let you have the floor again. I know you got some more.
No, I'm just saying, if you talk about the nuclear wars and stuff like that, so you nuke the planet. Okay, well, now what? Now you just made everything inoperable. Yeah. So, and plus you're pressing a button because you don't know what's going to happen on your end. If you nuke over here, it could circumnavigate all the way around, and well, you just nuked yourself. So, well, now what do you want to do?
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Like I said, there's a consequence to take on the other side of pressing that any sort of button. Weapons, you don't need those weapons. The whole world is discombobulated to the fact that everybody's so caught up in the washing machine spin cycle of the world that everybody just running around like crazy. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do that. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to really pay for anything. I mean, you got solar energy. You got power that's been up there for 6,000 years. That sun has been up there since God created it. And then it's beaming down here. Why don't you just make the whole entire world solar power? And then, we just flip the lights on and it's, I don't know. I don't remember paying a power bill for the last 20 years. Hey, thanks God. Thanks God for creating the sun to allow us to live on this for nothing.
I think there's a lot of people, Tony, that are starting to get that idea, and they're going to solar panels and everything. I know my stepson, his new house is almost entirely powered by solar panels.
Right.
And we can go so deep, and that's where the show I think is going to carry us, going deep to why governments want the military machine to begin with. Now, I love the military people. I love that they what the sacrifice they make to keep us safe. I understand all that. My son was in the Navy. I understand all that stuff. But just think if there was not a need to have a military, because you're not threatening each other to blow each other up. And that has been in the history almost since the existence of mankind. We'll get into that later.
Right.
With the creation and versus the evolution and how things started and why man's evolved where he's at now, why man has fallen off the pedestal of God and whatnot, and not to be sounding too we're not really religious. We're just bringing points to you in a history that's written by the Bible. We both believe the Bible seriously. But the thing is that what I'm getting at is like the basis of life, people. The way it was designed, the basis of life. We're supposed to live in peace. We don't supposed to blow each other up. We're supposed to take care of the planet. There's only one planet. We need to take care of it. And like Tony says, you need to get out of this washing machine and get out of the box and start thinking more realistically about where your lives are taking you. Because one day we're going to wake up and there's going to be a huge rude awakening, man. People are going to say, what happened? Well, because you wasn't taking care of the planet. You wasn't taking care of yourselves.
All right.
You kept doing whatever you wanted to do. You wasn't listening to you wasn't appreciating what was already created for you here.
Right.
You think you're better than what's already been put on the plate. And you're right, the human race, as intelligent as we are, we're the most intelligent species supposedly on the planet. But in some ways, we are the stupidest.
Right.
You know, seriously.
Right.
Yeah, Tony, I'll give it back to you, man.
I said, you need to, like I said, like John said, you got to come out of the box. You got to realize what you're doing. And not only realize what you're doing, realize what you could do and what you can do to change things. Because it's not going to take me to change it. It may take me to imprint something in your mind going, oh, yeah, this guy's got something good to say. He did say, okay, then let's pass this forward. Pay that forward so enough people hear about it and going, yeah, we could create this. And, oh, boom, hit the switch. Oh, yeah, now all that stuff that we used to pay for, we don't have to pay for it anymore. Oh, that's great. That's great. That's fantastic. It should have been doing that in the first place. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, you're right. Just think of all the money just on electricity alone.
Right.
Just think of all. Just say you still run your car on gas. Say you still did, but just think if you didn't you ran your house on total electric, but it was free electric.
Right.
I mean, just think of all the money you would save, and how much pollution would be thrown up in the air through coal burning and stuff. And you know, people say, well, you know, people need jobs. Man, you're going to eliminate all jobs. You do away with electricity. You know, all the people that keep the grid going and this and that. But if you think about it, if you save the electricity, all you do is transfer those people to the other jobs. Like, okay, you take care. They instead of them taking care of the coal mines, have them installing solar panels.
Yep. You move jobs around.
Make a solar panel.
You move the jobs around.
You just change the job. The job.
Yep. Awesome stuff. Dude. It's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
People need to just open their eyes and wake up. That's all. That's all.
I
see it.
You got to.
Ever since I did, John and I designed this show, and I came up with the title Out of the Box. It's you got to think out of the box. And ever since I took myself and I opened up the box that I was in, you know, and I cut that open, I stepped out and said, oh yeah, this is, wow, hey, check out this view. I've never saw this before, man. This is kind of cool. I think I'll stay out here for a while. You think a whole lot different. There's no more washing machine spin cycle. You're out of it. You don't have to worry about anything because it's pointless. Because once you get caught up in the worldly affairs of the world, you tighten up. It becomes frustrating. So there's only so much. There's a lot of energy when you start packing something so tight together before it explodes. So you come out of the box, you release that energy. There's no more. There's done. You're done. You got off. You're on this train track, right? You just can't. I can't see straight. So I stop the train. Get off. But what a lot of people do, and I did this example many years ago. A lot of people do is they get off the train and they go up a couple cars and they get right back on. And then they're just back on the same. No, that's not the way it works, guys. I did this.
Right.
Get off the train. Don't look at the train that you just got off. Go to another one. And if you say, well, there's not another train. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. You may not be able to see it yet, but there's another train to get on. Trust me. I got on it. So I got out of the box. I got out of that worldly thinking. I don't think about the worldly deeds. I gotta get up. Unfortunately, I got to get up, go to work, make money, pay the bills, right? But, okay, I got that part. But there's something else I can do. This whole mass media I could reach. I can slowly change people's minds thinking, get out. Open up that box, get out and see what you can do to change things. Not only somebody else's life, but yours in particular. Because you're going to live a lot better. Guaranteed. I am living proof. I am living proof.
You are. Yeah.
So,
one of these days, I'd love you to share your testimony. Yeah, that's totally up to you. Though,
yeah,
that's a private thing, I know.
That's kind of.
But anyway, real quickly though, guys, see what I got here?
Oh yeah.
Out of the box T-shirts. Out of the box T-shirts. Now they are coming. Tony and I are working on them. We promise they're coming. And I'm wearing one thanks to Tony. He sent this out there as a prototype of what it's going to be. I shared it on the plug, and you guys can see it on our Squarespace website. But anyway, I just wanted to do our T-shirts, So they're coming, and mugs will be coming.
Yeah, it's a matter.
We're working. We're
Order.
working on that.
We got to get that going for you guys, and we're going to get them up. It's just a matter of it's a process that we got to go through, and we got to figure out some things and map everything out to get it going right. And we want to do the right thing for everybody, and
we'll have that
for us as well.
It's all the
for sure.
It's all the paperwork, like I said.
Yeah,
the red
paperwork,
tape.
The red tape.
But anyway, this is what they look like, guys. This is what they will be, and so just look for them. I promise we're going to have them out before Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
I know that.
Oh, for sure.
They'll make great Christmas presents.
Oh, yeah.
And so anyway, we got 5 minutes left, Tony, and
I don't have anything more to go. I mean, I'm just going to shut this laptop down for you guys.
Well, I'd just like to say real quick, Tony and I appreciate you guys viewing in and checking us out, and we're gonna be Tony will plug it, but we are going to dive into creation evolution. It's a hot topic. We're gonna probably spend a couple episodes on that. There's a lot to that, so I hope you guys join us for that. And I don't know. The other thing I'd like to cover eventually down the road, Tony,
what's that?
Is the moon.
Oh yeah, we can do something about the moon.
On. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in the moon with the moon, and people are starting. Information is being leaked by the government, and what and so on.
Yeah.
So it's a hot topic, the moon. So we'll hit on that, and then next thing you know, it'll be Halloween, and we'll be going back to probably. What do you think, Tony? Do little spooks and.
Oh yeah, we got to do some graveyard stuff. Everybody always likes it. I could never really understand it. One of the hottest holidays out there, believe it or not, and the most one of the holidays that spends the most money, is Halloween.
Yeah.
Go figure. I mean, there's ghosts, goblins. Even myself, I dig the Halloween. I mean, that's kind of cool, but it's all pagan. All your holidays are are pagan anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But we'll do some cemetery stuff, and maybe go out there and do some on location stuff. It's hard to get everything that in the studio out mobile. It's impossible. I'm gonna have to do it with the cell phone or do it with the laptop. But we're definitely gonna move into some of that. But the creation evolution stuff, I definitely want to hit a topic, and it's gonna be like a mini series. It's gonna take 4 or 5 different episodes to get through everything, because I'm going to go through Genesis 6, Genesis 1 and 2. There's some other stuff I'm going to cover throughout parts of the Bible, as far as that relate to the evolution and the creation, because it just didn't happen that way. I mean, I'm a firm believer that dinosaurs and man lived on the earth at the exact same time. And a lot of people they find it hard to believe that. Well, how did you get a Tyrannosaurus Rex onto Noah's Ark? Well, it's pretty simple. The Tyrannosaurus Rex didn't just pop out of an egg 50 feet tall. I'm sure it was pretty small at one time. And you can just walk a boatload of animals on that ark at a small size. And there was only about 14,000 animals that were on that ark anyway. But that's interesting, because there is proof for the ark. Proof for the Exodus. We're going to I'm going to do so. I'm going to show you guys the Exodus, and there's some good stuff. I'd like to take an opportunity to tell everybody, Kent Hovind, Lies in the Textbook. Go to YouTube, search him out. I'll put his website or his YouTube site on in the description. He's going to show you. He can say it a lot better than I. Kent, you're good. I can't wait to get out of Vegas and check out the Dinosaur Adventureland, and I encourage everybody, go check out his facility. It looks good. He's bought a huge property, and he's got a lot of stuff out there. So definitely go out there and check it out. Next episode, like I said, we're going to be doing the creation, evolution, and get ready to. There we go. The creation, evolution. We'll start in part 1. And we'll move there. I don't know how many parts we're going to end up doing, but it's going to be good. So anyway, guys, you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and we're going to see you next episode. And for John Allen, I'm Tony Scott. Take care.